So before this started, Nate was he was talking to his significant other or someone, I don't know. And
Oh
I
yeah, it
popped
was
into
her.
the stream. I popped into the stream. I started sharing my screen and I was just playing Usher. And
That's
I was
great.
sitting there just vibing, just
Yeah.
dancing, lip syncing along. And then Nate's like, "Oh, Sonny, you're streaming. What are you streaming, man?" And he pulls it up, and I'm sitting there just right in the middle of "You Remind Me," like just going hard.
Yeah.
And then we get into a little music kick, and it evolves to the point where I just start mosh pitting in my basement to Tears for Fears. So
That was fucking I was like, that's how I am at work when people are like, why are you spazzing out? I'm like, look, man, just go with it, okay? It's not there's that not a big show cup from last time.
yeah, this is the Jurassic World Dominion.
Man, I haven't seen a Jurassic movie since like the original. I don't really know. Oh, it's fine. If dinosaurs are your thing, I guess.
I liked Jurassic Park. I didn't I'm not in love with it like everyone else is, it feels like. It feels like everyone loves Jurassic Park and I'm just like, it's cool. Like
It's I mean, whatever.
You know what I was in love with though?
Your girlfriend?
Twilight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and we were kind of getting into a little tangent before this started and I was like, "Nate, we got to stop talking and save it for the microphones."
Yeah,
Um
it's gotten to the point where we only talk during the podcast because if we talk during the week, it's gonna be like, no man, save it for the podcast.
no content gone.
And then you finally do speak up and say some shit to me, and it's about Steven fucking Tyler.
I'll get to that. So, um I loved Twilight, right? I read all the
Mhm.
books. I didn't watch all the movies. I didn't think the movies were as good. But a second ago, Nate was like, Family Guy kind of threw a wrench at Crash Bandicoot with a cutaway gag, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And he plays it for me. I'm like, oh no, I remember that.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes, Seth MacFarlane almost died on the during 9/11. He was supposed to be on that plane. I was like, I
Mhm.
didn't know that, but I do have a 9/11 correlation story for you. So
Way to lead in.
and this isn't like me harboring knowledge. This is openly available. Some of you may have heard about this, but Gerard Way, the front man for My Chemical Romance,
Mhm.
he was in New York during when the towers were hit and collapsing.
Okay.
He witnessed it, and him witnessing that event is what sparked him to start My Chemical Romance. Now, Stephanie Meyer, who wrote Twilight,
Mhm.
based some of the ideas in Twilight around the Demolition Days era of My Chemical Romance, like with the black face paint bar.
Mhm.
And famously, Stephanie Meyer was ripped off by an author named E.L. James.
I heard about that a
E.L.
little bit.
E.L. James wrote the 50 Shades series.
Mhm.
It's a blatant ripoff of Twilight. Like Mr. Christian Grey, Edward Cullen clone. It's even set in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. Um, really just blatant ripoff. It's so funny. It started as fan fiction and then it got popular. But yeah, so 9/11 is what caused mommy porn to be commercially available.
Way to really tie that one together. Just line them up and you just hit them out of the park, huh? Just
It's so fucking funny to me. Oh, and not only that, obviously they made the 50 Shades movie.
Mhm.
Dakota Johnson starred in that. And
Oh no.
she went on the Ellen show and exposed Ellen. So realistically, 9/11 ruined Ellen DeGeneres' career.
Yes, that's what we're gonna attribute it to, not to all the other mistreatment of backstage personnel and such. No.
I used to work at a place, and we had this procedural type deal called root cause corrective action.
Okay.
And basically it's like, oh, Johnny slipped and fell at work next to the water fountain. Well, what's the root cause? And people would be like, the puddle. And be like, well, why is there a puddle? It's like, oh, the water fountain is leaking. And it's like, basically just get to the source of it. So yeah, no.
I was thinking the other way. You were like root cause. I was like tree branches. I thought you were going to be like, oh, fucking Timmy slipped in some water. And the next question would be, what do you do? And I was going to be like, oh, finish him off. Fucking, I need that promotion. Anyway.
He's not a workhorse, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
You were getting very sleepy.
Can I stop you for a minute?
And welcome back to Milktown.
Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Your lactation population, baby. What's up?
What? That's all right. He sprung that on me. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't
I
either.
love
It
that.
just popped in my head.
I love that. That's good. I love it.
Love it. Keeping it. Work at.
Ooh, I love that for you. Fucking so after my dog died, I was like in a really bad place mentally,
Mhm.
and Bailey was always trying to get me to watch fucking Schitt's Creek. And I was like kind of into it, but not really. Like I can see where it's funny, but it's like oh god. The sister in that show, I can't remember her name.
Me neither. I don't watch Schitt's Creek.
David and
I just take a shit in the toilet like a normal person. Anyway.
whoever his show sister is, because his real sister plays Twilight, but his sister always was like, I love that for you. It's just a prissy
Man,
bitch.
who used to say that to me? I love that for you. My sister says that for me sometimes, or to me sometimes. My older sister.
She probably watches Schitt's Creek.
It could be. She said that actually. Actually, she doesn't know. My mom and my little sister, I called them when I was like, "Hey, guess who just signed up for school?"
Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet.
No, we haven't. So, literally yesterday, I do my therapy every Wednesday or whatever. So I leave work early.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I guess I messed up by not letting. I let my boss know, but I didn't put it like in writing.
Yep.
Earlier, but if I would have put it in writing, it would have had to be last. It would have had to have been last week, and last week was kind of a short week for us, so I didn't really get around to, putting a slip in or whatever. So I just let him know, and I leave the slip on my way out, and he goes, "You're doing that on the way out? Like, I need to know earlier." And I'm like, and I've never seen my boss be upset, but he seemed like genuinely upset with me. And like one of the few selling points for my job is like I really like my boss. Like I thought we get along, usually pretty well. I hate everything else. I hate flipping the paper. I hate all that. It's monotonous, but it pays. But I got outside and I got in my car, and I don't know why it made me so upset, but I was all like, I'm like, it's a paper, man. Like I already can't see my family. I kind of fucking hate it here. And then I was just like in my car, I'm like, I fucking hate it here. I want to go back to school and do theater since I already got my degree in graphic design. I did what my mom and dad wanted, so now I'm going to go back to school for theater for myself. So I did. I just fucking signed up, filled out the whole form. I told my therapist, and he's like, yo, word, let's go. I called my mom and my sister, and they were like, finally, The Rock has come back.
Doesn't matter what you think.
So,
Well, awesome. That's awesome, dude.
yeah, that'll be fun. It'll give me more time to do home project things. I'm probably going to get like a part-time job.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool for sure.
Back to musicals. Let's go.
I could tell you're in a theater mindset because the second I hopped onto the call and you started talking to me, you went into like fucking Sweeney Todd dialogue.
Oh, shove it up your bum is not Sweeney Todd dialogue.
No, it was you were saying something about that, or not about that, but before that.
Huh.
the life of the wife is something.
Oh no, that's a Family Guy reference.
Oh.
But
Oh.
but I mean, you're not that far off, Sweeney Todd. It's kind of about his wife, not really, but whatever. Anyway, spoilers. Sweeney Todd murders his wife by accident.
He does indeed.
For anybody,
And
who
also,
hasn't-
if you haven't seen Sweeney Todd at this point,
yeah,
what
what
are
the
you doing?
fuck, man? Like, I've seen it both live and the movie. Like, I actually
So
saw it
have I.
live first.
Oh,
So
no, not
seeing the
here.
movie was interesting, and I'm like, is that fucking Snape? Yes, that's
It
Alan
is,
Rickman.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah, we did, and I was like, Alan Rickman's not in that movie, and you're like, yes, he is.
I'm pretty sure, but I get actors
You were
confused
right.
all the time, so I didn't want to be like, Yahtzee. Man, when's the last time I
Okay,
played Yahtzee?
Talking about fucking Sweeney Todd and Twilight, let's talk about my boy Jamie Campbell Bower making a fucking comeback.
What's going on?
He's in Stranger Things season 4.
Oh, I don't watch Stranger Things, so I wouldn't know.
Do you plan on watching it ever?
I don't know. So I'm in like purgatory with movies right now because everyone's like, okay, you got to watch all the Harry Potters. I'm on the last one.
Ooh,
Probably gonna watch it this weekend. And then after
Good.
that, they're like, you have to watch Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, okay, I've seen The Hobbit already, so might as well watch Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is so much better, dude.
Yeah, well, obviously, but I just haven't seen it, so they're gonna make me watch that, and then I can get married to Stephanie. He's like, you want to marry my daughter still, right? You gotta watch all these Mel Brooks movies, and also fucking
You're like Hercules. You gotta beat the 12 feats.
yeah, but for movies.
Yeah. That's funny, dude. Mel Brooks movies. I grew up on Mel Brooks movies. My mom was a huge fan of Mel Brooks.
Huh.
She was a really big fan of comedy in
Yeah.
a weird way. Because okay, this is going to sound sad, but whoever's listening, I need you to understand. I'm not sad about it. You don't get to be sad about it.
I'm already sad, bro. Sad
So,
boy
my mom-
hours. Who up?
Oh no. My mom passed away when I was 10, and I don't remember much of her personality at this
Mhm.
point. I know she was funny, but I was also 10, so I don't know what degree. But she introduced me to a lot of the comedy that I still enjoy and like. I'm not going to say mimic because I don't really mimic anybody anymore, but I live in that type of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, one of the first movies I remember ever watching was a Steve Martin movie called The Man with Two Brains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. It is so wildly funny. And not only that, I saw Blazing Saddles at like way too early of an age.
I only just recently saw that, actually.
Blazing Saddles is so funny.
It is very, very hilarious.
And I saw a meme the other day where it's like Blazing Saddles edited for 2022, and it's the opening credits, and then it cuts straight to the end.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man,
I'm like, really? Like, you guys can't like
you got to get
just step aside for a second?
right. It's obviously it's not framed in that manner. Like that's a very small part of what the whole thing's about, anyway.
No, and it's also like, if anything, it was more progressive for the time.
Yeah,
Because,
true
like,
that.
It's people overcoming their prejudices against someone and putting them in a position of power. Like, it's not like a fucking hero story by any means.
Mhm.
It's a comedy, but it's still like
yeah.
this man was a runaway,
Yeah.
and he made his way into sheriff of Rockridge and then saved the town, and everybody loved him. Like, how is that?
I don't know. There's a limit. Like, don't be, be good.
Like,
be good to your fellow human, but don't be like.
Like, I'm worried now that fucking there's a movie. I love this movie, but I'm worried that now it's like next on the list to get canceled, even though for when it came out, it was super progressive. And
What's
that's to Wong Foo. Thanks for everything. Love, Julie Newmar.
I've never seen that movie.
It's got Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes
I
in it.
fucking love John Leguizamo and Wesley Snipes.
They all three
Spicy.
are a variety of either transgender or cross-dressing male.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is pretty progressive. When did it come out?
Like 94.
Damn, yeah. No, for the time, The 90s
It's
things were
actually, it
getting a
might
little
even be
better.
older than that.
Yeah.
Because this was like, oh no, because this is like Wesley Snipes fresh off of White Men Can't Jump, and this is John Leguizamo pre-Romeo and Juliet. So it might have been like 90 through 92 even.
Dude, when I found out John Leguizamo was in fucking Encanto, man, like...
Yeah, he's Bruno.
Yeah, well, my problem is I didn't know he was Sid the Sloth either. For my like, I didn't know who voiced him. I just didn't. I watched Ice Age like once as a kid. I wasn't that into it, and then Stephanie was like, "Oh, that's fucking Sid the Sloth," and I'm like, "Is it? Oh, fucking all right."
Johnny
great."
Legs, boy.
Yeah, no, I know him for the fucking Mario Brothers movie, man.
Oh God. My first
it's so
introduction to
bad
John
that it's
Leguizamo was Spawn.
Okay, that's a better introduction than
when he played the clown. I can't remember the clown's name either. But when he's like, he fucking pulls that pizza out of the dumpster and it's covered in maggots, and he goes, "Ugh, I hate anchovies." Then he pulls the fish off and eats it with the maggots.
You know who voices? Is it Spawn? I think it's Spawn.
Yeah, the animated HBO Spawn show was Keith David.
Yeah, and in the I think it was DC
Mortal Kombat game.
or Mortal Kombat ones. It was either Mortal Kombat or DC. It's fucking Keith David. I love Keith David. Ah,
Yeah, that was Mortal Kombat 11. That HBO Spawn series was really dope.
yeah.
So I didn't have access to that as a kid,
hmm
but if you I don't know if it was this way on the DVD because I had the VHS version of Spawn.
hmm
But on the VHS, after the credits played, it had the first episode of the animated HBO series on it.
Huh. Nice. A little bonus.
It's like at the it's like at the end of the Daredevil 2004 VHS. If you get through the credits, it plays the Evanescence "Bring Me to Life" music video.
Yeah, I miss when both games and movies kind of did that. They don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, special feature. I think the day of special features is gone.
Yeah, well, it used to be really crazy because, not to talk about Crash Bandicoot, but I'm always going to take every chance I can to talk about Crash Bandicoot. So,
Mhm.
if you play Crash 3, which came out in 1998, if you put in a code, the demo for Spyro the Dragon would show up and appear because Insomniac and Naughty Dog worked right next door to each other. And they're like,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be just cool if like you just press these buttons and then but somebody had to spread the word about that. Like a dev or someone had to be like, "Hey kid, like want to hear some knowledge? Like I got you."
Yeah,
And it was the
and
90s,
that's cool.
so that's weird. Like it's crazy that could happen and people were just like,
Well,
"Yeah.
Do you know about like Reptile as a character in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I know about that too." That's
Like the first appearance of Reptile was in like MK1 or MK2.
yeah.
And you had to, the way that you unlocked him was so crazy, and it took so, like, at that time it was an arcade game, and you had to put in quarters.
Right.
So you, at this point, you would have had to invested at least like $4.50 worth of quarters, and then you have to like lose a fight,
Yeah.
and then that's how you unlock Reptile or
I
some shit
thought
like that.
originally Reptile, he wasn't even playable, right? He was only you could only play against him, is what I thought the whole
Mhm.
thing was. But that's still pretty cool. Like I don't know, it's crazy. And now funny thing, when they did the remake for Crash Bandicoot 2017, if you put that code in, it made a weird noise, like nothing Spyro related, but it just like made a weird noise. Everybody was like, "Are we getting Spyro?" And then 2018 we got Spyro. So
That's funny.
just saying, we still like that stuff, game devs. I mean, Activision's in deep shit now, so I'm gonna be waiting for anything from Crash or Spyro. But we like that
Yeah.
stuff still. Just say, and also demo discs. Do you ever have like demo discs growing up? Just like PlayStation Magazine used to come with those. I never got the magazine, but I always ended up with like all these demo discs.
I didn't have a console for a while, but speaking of stuff like that, do you remember McDonald's used to have the Mighty Kids meals?
I do remember that. Yeah.
You remember Mighty Kids Meals? Okay.
Yeah.
What around the time that Extremely Goofy movie came out,
Yeah.
there was a Mighty Kids meal, and the toy that you got with it, it was a CD that had 4 songs on it, 4 or 5 songs on it, and all of these songs were like kind of just like whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I remember one being it was like Lil Romeo, but it was the remix of
Lil Romeo.
It Takes Two.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
the
awesome.
Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock hit. But yeah, that's
So-
that just speaking of demo disc, it brought me back to a weird memory of fucking Mighty Kids meals.
Opposite end of the spectrum. So I love when people put secrets, either like dropping hints for a future game or the next game in a series. On the other side of the spectrum, I don't like when games make it so ambiguous and then act like they made it a story point later. I'm not going to spoil Kingdom Hearts for you, but it does that. It gives you like a secret boss fight, and like that could have been anybody, and then they just fucking, you look shocked. What's going on here?
Dude, I was like, I wonder if this even fucking pops up. So I type in Mighty Kids Meal CDs. They're right here in front of me, and it's the purple one. Track 1 is Lil Romeo two-way.
Romeo.
And then they had a green one too that had Bahaman is the biggest one on that one, it looks like.
Ah.
But yeah, that shit, that's so funny that exists. And it was called Mighty Music CD. And it was produced by Radio Disney.
Of course it was. That checks
And
out.
it says bonus, pop this CD into your computer and watch a cool Lil Romeo video.
I didn't know the
That's
computer
sick,
until I was
dude.
like 12 in my family.
Oh, they had 3. There was a yellow one too. Baller.
Where it's just piss. Like,
It's just piss.
yeah, the yellow one's just piss, nothing else. Don't let them think anything else. They're going to get too carried away. Man, I was watching a freaking episode of The People's Court today, and you know how I love my trash TV. Speaking of piss, this lady got so upset with this guy who was being really nice to her and letting her stay there, like, you know, while she was going through her treatment for, I think she had cancer or something. But
Mhm.
she was crazy. Like, she filled 2 buckets with piss, left them in the front door, shattered the windows. Like, she fucked up this house, dude. And so she kept interrupting. She kept speaking out of turn. And in court, you can't do that. You know, like, you can't keep interrupting
Yeah.
everybody. And the judge was like, 1 more and you're out of here. And she goes off again. The lady goes off again. And the judge is like, all right, take her out of here. And she's cussing all the way back. And she's like, you know what? And the judge told her, you know what you sound like? And she's like, what? You sound like a lady who would piss in buckets. She didn't say piss, but she said urinate in buckets. And that made me laugh so hard for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Because she was acting so just irate. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, no, she definitely showed that, like, she's got something going on.
Dude, okay, so I'm sorry. I hate to change it from piss buckets. But I'm like, it's recommending all these pictures of like other nostalgic kids meal toys to me right now.
Mhm.
Fucking, I didn't realize how much I was eating fast food as a kid because I'm like, I had a lot of these. Like, fuck, dude. Like this, there's a picture here of Sonic. They used to have the little tot toys. They look like a tater tot.
Uh-huh.
And like these are like they're tater tot shaped, but they're dressed up like monsters for Halloween. And then there's like, oh, there's fucking a Mighty Kids meal came with a CD-ROM for Treasure Planet. It was an actual computer game.
McDonald's
Fucking mighty.
ran like a limited promotion for, sorry to bring it back to Crash and Spyro, but like they were at odds and evens. So, like, all the odd number collection were little like mini Crash handheld games, and all the even
Mhm.
collections were Spyro games. And they were all really shitty, and I think they were by like Tiger Electronics or some shit. But it's really funny that you say that. Also, McDonald's used to have the like N64s in their play places for a little
I
bit.
think that you may be mistaken, and I think that was actually Burger King, buddy.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was
Dude,
Burger King.
Nuggets are nuggets. Are you sure? Double check. I swear to God, it was McDonald's. Could be wrong though. You have the power to fact check live now. You don't even have to. I could totally be wrong. It could be Burger King, but I just remember it. I don't know why I fondly remember McDonald's. Maybe that Mandela effect kicking in again.
Well, okay, so hold on. I don't trust Reddit as a source.
It's like a live, a real-time Wikipedia. Reddit is.
Okay, it does say that McDonald's had N64s, but
Mhm.
none of the McDonald's near me had them. It was only a Burger King.
Oh, interesting. Maybe like a couple Burger Kings try to like ride the wave.
But then also, this Mighty Kids meal toy is it's a pack of 2 Yu-Gi-Oh cards from like Yu-Gi-Oh the movie.
Yeah. So those are the ones that aren't actually worth as much. There's a specific Blue Eyes that came out when that, I think it was Pyramid of Light, that movie was showing in theaters, and that one's worth a lot, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't really have the cards. Like, my mom was just like, eh. She's like, I'm not buying you those Yu-Gi-Mon cards. And I'm like, Mom, the fact that you said Yu-Gi-Mon, I don't want them anymore. Give me fucking
Dude.
soccer boppers
Oh,
or whatever.
what?
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 Oh my god, dude, I forgot about those.
What,
There's little
soccer
handheld
boppers?
toys. And it's McDonald's, and I know that these existed because I had the monkey ball one.
Okay.
But there's one with Sonic on it, there's one with Tails. The other one looks like Shadow maybe or Knuckles, and then a monkey ball one, and then I can't tell what the other two are.
Sounds all Sega related.
Oh, it was definitely very Sega. I
'Cause
think the
monkey
other
balls
two
are
are
nerd.
both Sonic, but I think one is soccer themed and the other one is racing.
Huh. But what kind
But
of
yeah,
toys were
dude.
they? What, like...
They were like little handheld games.
Oh, nice. Man,
Um,
did you ever have Beyblade growing up?
Dude, okay. I swear if you're about to tell me about the
I'm not
Beyblade
going to
Black
tell you the
Market.
story again because I told you that one already. I was just wondering if you... I don't think I asked you last time if you had them growing up.
I was just on the verge of missing that. Like,
Okay.
when Beyblade came out was around the time that I was like, I want to do Jackass style stunts. So,
Okay. No, I was only asking because I connect Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, like all that in my head is connected together. Because they all had corresponding anime with them. That was like,
the 2000s anime insurgents.
yeah. 4 kids. Better watch out. Can't show a gun. I'm going to just point my finger at you, the viewer.
What else is there? They're like, these are crazy. Just
Speaking of,
looking at these toys, there's like Mighty Ducks pucks, like hockey pucks with
Mhm.
the respective ducks coming out of them. I remember those.
do you ever get a cereal box toy?
Yes, dude.
I got like
okay.
a soccer one time and it was pretty lame, but
Around the time that Revenge of the Sith came out, there was a promotion in like certain boxes of cereal. It had to have been the company that makes Apple Jacks.
Kellogg's.
And I think, is that Kellogg?
Yeah. Like 95%
So
sure.
the only reason I know it's Apple Jacks is because I got the one that I wanted. So
Mhm.
Revenge of the Sith, if you bought these cereal boxes, they had light up spoons that look like lightsabers. And they had there was blue, green, red, obviously, and then
Mhm.
purple for Mace Windu.
There you go.
And I got my Mace Windu one in the Apple Jacks
Motherfucker.
box, and I was stoked.
Apple Jacks is also where I won that soccer handheld. Something about Apple Jacks,
Nice.
man. And they're
I
okay.
also I traded my red lightsaber spoon for a green one. I remember that. Thanks, Jake.
I'm just gonna start name dropping like friends from our childhood.
I know for a fact that particular Jake does not listen to this fucking show.
I thought you were about to say doesn't exist anymore. I was like, ooh, he put an end to Jake.
No, he exists. He popped up on my Facebook the other day, but I
Oh.
literally haven't talked to him since 2004. So
I was 5 in 2004.
Yeah, I was 9, homeboy.
Yeah, jeez. That was a
But
couple
yeah.
years before the best Christmas of my life, where I got Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy and Play-Doh and 250 Legos.
I've mentioned this though before too. I'm a fucking barterer. And I legit was out there wheeling and dealing everything. And it's
Not to be
just now
confused
occurring to
with
me.
wheeling and dealing one of my viewers on Twitch.
Oh my god, I remember these. I had all of these.
What are you looking at?
This is the Power Rangers. I think this is Lightspeed Rescue. I'm pretty sure these are Lightspeed Rescue Power Rangers.
Huh.
Did they have the silver Sixth Ranger with the V-shaped mask?
I don't know. I'd never watched Lightspeed. Man, I'm still thinking back to the time where we watched all of the openings.
Oh yeah, that
I've
was
never heard the
fire.
words "Go Go Power Rangers" more in my entire life than right then. I still think back on that sometimes. So, with Arthur being done and the passing of why did I just blank on the name? That's not cool. That's not cool at all, Nate. Um Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Since he passed away, there's no more Cyberchase either, because I think he was a voice in that as well.
Yeah, he was a voice in Cyberchase as well.
So that's like 2 childhood shows done, man. Like, what's left? Because Fetch with Rough Ruffman isn't a thing anymore, even though I fucking love that show. So are these kids just left with the new age shows? What is PBS even showing?
Wild Kratts.
Oh yeah,
Wild Kratts, dude. Zaboomafoo.
yeah. I forgot that they have a. Are they totally separate series, or does Zaboom?
They're separate. So Wild Kratts is animated.
Okay, gotcha. Because that's their name, right? The brothers or whatever.
Yeah, the Krat brothers. Yeah. Also, dude, I saw a video the other day of Robert Irwin, Steve Irwin's son.
I was gonna literally just bring that up. I saw a video he was on
was
with Kevin Hart.
was it the video of him? Oh no, never mind. I saw a video of him.
But
He stopped in the middle of the road to like grab a lizard and get it out of the road.
mhm,
And dude, that kid is just like he's so much like his
he's
dad.
just like his dad.
But he's like softer spoken even.
Mhm.
He's
Somehow,
like his
yeah.
voice is so calming. He's like if it's the best
Dude, he could
it's
convince
the best
me
parts
to, like,
of Steve and oh god, I feel terrible, but I don't remember
his mom.
yeah, no, what is her name?
I
Oh.
forgot too, but
I know his sister's name. I know Bindi. Oh no, am I a terrible person?
Am I a terrible person? I saw a video of him with Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart
Yes,
didn't
I
like
have seen
touch
that.
anything, which I'm shocked.
Terry.
That's it.
Terrier.
Yeah, I feel like that man could convince me to bathe in a bathtub full of scorpions. He'd be like, "It's all right," and then I'll be like, "Yeah, man, it's okay, cool, great." Like,
Dude, yeah.
I'd believe him. Like,
Have I told you that I ate a scorpion once?
no, didn't they? They have like scorpion lollipops you can buy.
That's what I had.
Oh,
it
that's
in,
what you had. Yeah. I
It
know
was a
about
goat
those.
milk caramel lollipop that
Wow.
had a scorpion in the middle.
It's like an extra. That's a combination for you.
It was really good. It was delicious. My high school family and consumer sciences teacher,
Mhm.
and I had to say it because I didn't want the acronym to get confused with any other words. She
Oh,
was yeah.
That's fucked up. Okay, go ahead. I had
Yeah,
to
she
piece it
just-
together.
Yeah, she had just gotten back from like a trip to Mexico,
Mhm.
and she goes, I have this sucker, and if anyone wants to eat it, I will give them extra credit. She goes, I've asked all of the upperclassmen, I was a freshman at the time, and none of them wanted to eat it. And I was like, no hesitation, I was like, I'll eat it.
Let me get some extra credit. Man,
I had
extra
an A
credit.
in the class. I liked the shock value of just eating weird shit.
Fair
So
enough.
she was like, okay, here you go. And she was like, do you want to know what's in it? I was like, no, I'm cool. And so I started eating the sucker. I was like, yeah, this is really good. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's delicious. And she was like, there's a scorpion in the middle. And I was like, what? And just straight bit into it. I was like, and I broke it open. I got the sucker out of the way. And I was like, oh, cool, scorpion. I was like waving it around at everybody. And they were like, what's wrong with you, man? I was like, I'm going to eat the scorpion. I had to get to it.
Oh,
So,
you know what? Speaking of like, you were a freshman when that happened, so you were a lot older. Do you want to know how I knew that I wanted to do like stage acting and stuff?
please tell me.
There's a really interesting story. So, 5th grade, we learned about the 13 colonies, like the Revolutionary War, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we had like a Thomas Jefferson cosplayer come in to, come to talk to us about just more about it. And they picked one kid from the class to dress up as like basically just like a peasant, like what a peasant would dress like.
Okay.
And they wanted to pick another kid in the class to dress like in the nice clothes, like the military garb that like George Washington wore. And we lost your camera, if you don't know.
That was intentional.
Oh, okay. But they picked me to wear like the nice stuff. So I got into it and I turned around and all of my classmates and the teachers all clapped because I was looking good. And I was like, I want to do this. Great.
So I had a similar experience, not not exactly the same.
Mhm.
So my first acting credit, but the first thing I was in, it was a 4th grade class production. It was only for our class, but it was during the month of February. It was a civil rights. The production we were doing was pertinent to civil rights. But basically, it was like a reenactment of Rosa Parks on the bus in Montgomery and what sparked the Montgomery bus boycotts. And I was the guy that was trying to get Rosa Parks out of her seat.
You're a villain.
Dude, I felt so bad, man.
I hate playing villains on stage.
And now I'm thinking about it, all of the villains that I've played have been inherently racist.
Oh, wonderful. To make up for it, you're kind of doing a podcast with a black guy, so
Typecast much.
I only played
Fuck
one.
you, Nate. No.
Yeah. Oh, would it be the first time, bro? Wait till the cameras are off. I only ever played anything resembling a villain one time, and it was for the last production I was ever in. It didn't have a name. It was like a musical review, so we wrote the script out. Okay. And I wasn't even a villain in it. I just had to do something really shady to one of like my cast members. Like he was trying to like get the crowd's attention or something. And I had to straight up in front of all the crowd, in front of all my castmates on stage, while he was trying to get everybody's attention, I was supposed to go anyway and like side eye him and just like move on. And I'm not like that in real life. And like I was like, damn, I don't know if I can. And it made the crowd go, oh, whoa. Like it just bothered me. Like I was like, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out. Not a good villain. But if there was ever a Princess and the Frog Broadway show, you
think you could be Doctor?
Not your. Oh fuck, I could do it. Yeah.
You think? Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, I'd be so down. What I'm about to do is get in shape in this next 6 months. Wait for that Princess and the Frog to drop and fucking.
Dude, you are tall. You are a very tall,
only 6 foot
figure.
though. They probably want someone taller than 6 foot.
Yeah, I know, but if you're doing theater, man, like let's be honest.
That's
like I was in theater.
True.
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, so
I was the tallest dude in my theater company. I'm 5'8".
Yeah,
like
so
not a fucking. But I wish I had the opportunity to play more villains because I really enjoyed it.
I prefer
That's
heroes.
why I want to get into voice acting though. Is because it doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what I look like.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could literally just be anybody. And honestly, have you thought about like what your dream role would be? Like if you were to step into an existing property?
Aladdin. Aladdin has always been my dream role since I was like 15. That or Usnavi and In the Heights. I'd love to do that.
Okay.
I got to kind of play Tom Collins in Rent, so that one's already
Mhm.
crossed off. Essentially. Um,
If they ever do an animated version of The Dark Tower, because I think that's the only way that you could get away with making something that long. Because otherwise, there's a kid in it. The kid's gonna age out of the role.
mhm,
So I think an animated version of that story would be the best way to tell it.
true.
And if they ever did an animated version, you would catch me on my hands and knees outside of every talent agency in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Toronto, and Dallas, Texas. Just like, please let me audition for Eddie. I want to be Eddie so bad. Because
Yeah.
Eddie, he's like a small druggie. He's like a drug addict, and he's from the Bronx. So it's literally just like Mel Blanc. It's like Mel Blanc if he was mixed with George Carlin.
Nice. Did you hear
'Cause
about the Spider-Man musical?
I have heard about the
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
Into the Dark.
That's old.
So many cast injuries. They
Mhm.
damn near killed one of their spider. Like they had to stop production not because it was a bad production, but because Spider-Man kept almost dying and breaking legs and stuff. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Um,
What is that? That's like 10 years ago at this point.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. I was just wondering if you'd ever heard about it.
Yeah, no, I knew about that.
Yeah.
Actually, so I guess technically I was trying to do a podcast before I knew what podcasts were.
Uh-huh.
I was in high school. I think I was a freshman or a sophomore, and my cousin was doing these like weekly type shows. And my thought process was I've always been obsessed with like late night television and interviewers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my thought process was I could be like an online version of a late night television host.
Hmm.
So I tried to do that. I did one episode. It was called Contemplating the Universe with Sonny and Kiefer. And Kiefer was a friend of mine at the time. I wonder if that still exists. If so, I'll post it in the Discord and you guys can come and check it out.
I found my old YouTube channel, like a really old one. And like I had just turned 18 probably. And there was like 2 episodes and it was like Let's Plays, and I don't even know why because they weren't even popular at that point. But
Mhm.
the first one was fine. I was kind of fucking annoying and using a headset mic, so it was like yeah, guys. The second episode, halfway through, the audio just cuts out, and I guess I just posted it. I guess I just didn't even listen. I just posted it. So, I mean, it's invisible now. Now the police will never know, but that was really funny to look back on.
Yeah,
that.
so Contemplating the Universe does not exist anymore.
Aw. A lot of
But
other
okay,
stuff.
so if this tells you the time period for anyone that's listening, I remember one of the things I talked about specifically was Ray Allen leaving the Celtics and joining the Heat.
Hmm.
So this was before Ray Allen went and got a chip with the Heat.
Miami.
So yeah, that was a while back. But yeah, no, so you've got your dream roles there, and then I mentioned Eddie. I've also, and when I say this, I want everyone to know that I was a fan of this before all of the shitty things with this character came out.
Uh-oh.
I want to be a Green Lantern so bad. I love Green Lanterns, man. Like the whole lore behind the Lantern Corps and everything is so cool. And they went and made a shitty movie about it. So shitty that they tried to redeem it with a cartoon that was good. The cartoon was fucking good.
Okay.
And
Was
everyone
that
was
movie
like,
the one
ew.
with Ryan Reynolds? Is that who played him?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie when it came out, and I was like, and I was young, and even then I was like,
Yeah.
However, in Lego DC superheroes or whatever it is, Lego, they call it Lego Batman, I guess, plus other DC too. Green Lantern, pretty spicy character to play as. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple Green Lanterns, right? So
Right,
like
'cause
obviously the one in the movie is Hal Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Hal Jordan is like when you think Green Lantern, if you didn't grow up with the cartoon Justice League, you probably think of Hal Jordan. If you grew up with the cartoon Justice League, you're thinking John Stewart.
Mhm.
John Stewart, awesome. Love me some John Stewart. But then there's also Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner is his weakness is wood.
Oh, that's fucking.
Well, that was the silver age of comics.
So
So
you're
this was
telling
like
me
the
if like we're doing a Marvel versus DC, I just gotta pull out Groot and he's fucked? Is that what I'm?
that particular Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? The only reason his weakness was wood is because he thought his weakness was wood. Because the ring
Yeah,
is
it's
powered
based
by your
on
will.
Yeah, exactly. Where you can will
So
things into
you're-
existence.
Yeah, so he was just like, "Oh no, wood," and then it was like, "Oh no, wood."
Oh wow.
And then there was Alan Scott, who was the Green Lantern after Guy Gardner, and Alan Scott was kind of like, if they were to make a movie about Alan Scott, like 40-year-old Ed Harris would be the guy to do it.
Interesting.
Not obviously not Ed Harris now, 40-year-old Ed Harris or Robert Patrick even.
Can I ask
But-
a question?
Yeah.
This is DC related.
Okay.
Why the only Robin we ever get to see is Dick Grayson? As far as like popular media, it's always the Dick Grayson Robin. We don't get like
Oh,
okay, well, I wouldn't really want to see Damian Wayne anyway because he's a whiny bitch. But like, why don't we get?
well, it kind of depends. So the
Jason-
reason that we so the reason that we only get Dick Grayson is because all of the Batman movies typically are retellings of the origin story.
Okay.
So it's like chronologically. They're like, oh
Also-
yeah, his first Robin is Dick Grayson, but there was also Tim Drake. There was Jason Todd who became
Yeah.
Red Hood. There was Damian Wayne. There's a female Robin now, and I apologize, but I don't know her name because I haven't been following DC Comics for years.
To be fair, Joker keeps fucking killing half of them, like beating them to death. Just
Dude, okay,
so that
I want to.
I
there's-
figured.
I'll very quickly finish my list of Green
for it.
Lanterns, and then I
Yeah.
will talk about.
Yeah, I didn't want
there's-
to pull you too far.
No, it's okay. There's 3 other Green Lanterns, and one is Simon Baz. Simon Baz is dope. He looks like a luchador in his Green Lantern costume.
Yo.
And then there's Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner was a graphic designer in his alter ego. He didn't have any military background, and the Ring thought he was worthy, and all of his constructs are like comic books.
I'm like graphic designers are worthy. First of all,
It's
Let me
it's
just
tight
tell
though,
you.
because Kyle Rayner, he's an artist. He's not a warrior, so
Right,
all of
so
his
it's different.
creations are like art.
Cool.
It's cool. And then I think the other one, I believe the last Green Lantern that they have come out with is a woman. I think her name is Jessica Cruz, but I would have to double check. And then speaking of killing Robins, have you seen Batman Under the Red Hood?
No. What is that about?
It's an animated movie. Came out in like 2010.
Is that the Jason Todd Robin?
So,
No.
okay, it was Jessica Cruz. I looked it up.
Okay.
Damn, I'm good. But so yes and no. The Batman Under the Red Hood is about how Jason Todd became the Red Hood, kind of, and it's about it's just so sick. Can I just tell you who plays the Joker?
Go ahead.
John DiMaggio.
Seriously?
John DiMaggio, the best Joker voice under Mark Hamill.
Oh, okay. I was like, what about
Like
Mark Hamill?
it goes Mark Hamill, John DiMaggio, Troy Baker, hands down.
Okay.
And I love Troy Baker, don't get me wrong. Don't you get me fucked up. I love Troy Baker, but John DiMaggio's Under the Red Hood Joker is fucking twisted, and I love it.
I feel it.
Bruce Greenwood was Batman. Pretty
So
cool.
Bruce played Bruce then, huh?
Yeah, and then Jensen Ackles was Red Hood, and now he's played Batman, which is cool.
Huh.
He did not live action. He did a voice for Batman in it was a recent movie that I haven't seen yet. But yeah, Jensen Ackles. Now he's in The Boys too. He's
Oh, I
all
haven't
over the
seen
superhero
boys
stuff
yet,
right now.
but everybody's into that right now.
Yeah, everybody be fucking with the Amazon shows.
Speaking of Twisted, can we talk about like the Teen Titans, like the original cartoon, for a minute?
Oh, incredible!
Well,
Incredible.
It's so great. There's so many themes in there that are like very adult. Like there's an
Yeah.
episode where Robin like loses his fucking mind because he just thinks everything and everyone is Slade. Like he's fucked. Like
Mhm.
it fucks him up. Also, everybody thinks Red X is Jason Todd. How do you feel about that? Because Red X was Robin for a minute, but somebody else has the costume, and they never finished the story arc, so we don't know.
It could be.
And they
It could be
reference
Jason
it
Todd.
in Teen Titans Go. They reference it, and Beast Boy's all like, "Is it Jason Todd?" And everyone's like, "Oh," but no, we don't know. So
Like it could be Jason Todd, but it would be weird if it was, because
Robin's
I think
so young still.
Yeah, I think by the time that I think the timeline of him becoming Red Hood,
Mm-hmm.
like Robin had already been Nightwing,
Okay.
and then he became not Red Robin.
Man,
That was Tim Drake. Tim Drake became Red Robin.
Mm.
But yeah, like Dick had already been Nightwing for a long time.
Yeah.
And then Jason died, and then they brought him back with the Lazarus Pit, and that's when he became Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, I'm still bummed out that there's only like one comic dedicated to Poison Ivy. Like she got her own run, but it's only like one book. It's a pretty thick book. I've read it. It's great. I like Poison Ivy, but like she only had the one book, man. It was a bummer because I was watching her fuck up people who were fucking up the environment, and I thought it was great.
Have you seen the Harley Quinn animated series?
No, I haven't.
It's really fucking funny.
Is that the one that's for adults? Like it has like all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a preview for that, and I was like, "This is really good." I just never got around to it.
Also, I just want to take a second to put this out there. Almost all of DC's stuff that is not their cinematic universe is perfect.
So I always say
It's
this,
so good.
and people get mad at me. But like, if you look at the modern like sets of comic books right now, I would never pick up a Marvel one because every like 2 fucking issues in, they keep rebooting their series. Where DC, you can keep reading and reading and reading and reading. They're doing so much better comic book wise right now than Marvel is.
Well, so I think the issue with DC is that they're trying too hard to do what Marvel is doing, where it's like they're putting a lot of pressure on one guy.
Yeah.
And I think that guy is Walter Hamada. And don't get me wrong, like they've got one of the best writers in the game, dude, Jeff Johns. He's written like almost all of the most iconic stories in the last 25 years for DC. The only exception would be if they had Alan Moore come in to do the writing. And Alan Moore like famously wrote he wrote fucking Dark Knight Returns back in the 80s, which is like everyone's favorite Batman story. He also wrote for Swamp Thing, and he did V for Vendetta and Watchmen and Hellboy. Like,
I haven't
Alan
seen
Moore.
Doctor Strange yet, but just by reaction, okay, my hope for the movie was, and I know that this can't be the ending, even though I haven't seen it, because everybody would have reacted. The way in the MCU right now that everything's fucked up timeline-wise, like with time and stuff, would have been perfect for Doctor Strange to just fucking open up a hole and be like, well, since everybody fucking forgot Peter Parker, what about Miguel O'Hara? And then fucking 2099 Spider-Man. I just want 2099 Spider-Man so bad.
Into the Spider-Verse is gonna have 2099.
That's cool. I mean, I'm into that. I really fucking love 2099. Like, he's so solid. Like, it's good to, for once, it's not just some nerdy kid. It's like a fucking ripped scientist who just fucking made his suit and was like, fuck it. I hate it here. All right. I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, dude, I knew this was happening, but I hadn't been paying attention to it. So they're making a Blue Beetle series.
Oh, I heard about that.
Do you know who they cast as Blue Beetle?
No, I don't. I didn't hear that much, but I just heard of it.
It's homeboy from Cobra Kai. I don't know how to say his name. Xolo.
Yeah,
Xolo?
yeah, I know who you're talking about. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, fucking awesome.
Yeah. Was it Spectacular Spider-Man that like it came out a lot on Disney XD, but like, and I was of the age to watch it, but I think that's the one where Drake Bell voices fucking Peter, and so now I think he did a good job, but now Drake Bell stuff's just dirty, man. Like,
Ugh.
so that's unfortunate, but like,
But dude, yeah, like, so just I want to stay on DC for a second too.
yeah.
DC, I had such little faith in DC.
Mhm.
I started watching Doom Patrol back when that first came out. Have you seen any Doom Patrol at all?
No, I haven't.
Incredible. It's awesome. It's so good. And it's Brendan Fraser's in it, man.
Nice. I'm mad because they have so many characters and potentials for universes, but they try so hard to, like you said, to emulate Marvel that like they could be doing their own thing right now.
I wish that, like, I'm not saying that I could fix the DC universe, but I think if they gave me $200 million like they're spending on these other fucking movies and just let me take a story and show them what it could be, like, I think I could do well enough. Even if I had to call in help, they could not pay me a thing and just like let me control everything and like kind of be like, hey, this is what I see. Maybe you can explain it a little better and like have like some arbiters or whatever. But
You know,
I genuinely think that I could help.
at one point I was really hoping for like a Teen Titans like cinematic fucking universe thing. But then I saw what they did with Suicide Squad and I said, don't even fucking touch the Teen Titans. Forget it. Man, did you see Suicide Squad? Because the way they introduced characters was so... I didn't like it.
Which one?
Fucking what? I don't remember which one I saw.
Was it the one with Will Smith?
Yeah, with Will. Yep, it was the Will Smith one.
So that was 2016 Suicide Squad.
The way they introduced characters in that was like out of nowhere, and also half of I feel like they spent a lot of money on the music, like all that licensed music, but like some of it didn't make sense for the characters they were introducing.
No.
And it really bummed me out because I was like, dude, that could have been like a really good.
Yeah. Okay, so Suicide Squad was their attempt at trying to break the mold, like with what Guardians of the Galaxy did with their music.
Yeah.
That's why James Gunn directed the reboot.
That makes sense. That all
they wanted James Gunn. They wanted his direction.
Yeah.
And I've seen the new Suicide Squad. It's honestly not terrible. Okay, it's not great, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
my issue with the new one is they've got fucking John Cena in it. So
I heard about that. So my thing is, I want to feel, if they ever do make a Teen Titans movie down the line, I want to feel the way I felt when in Civil War Spider-Man came out of nowhere and everybody was like, what the fuck? I want that feeling, but for every time they introduce a new member of the Teen Titans.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I feel like Suicide Squad didn't do that for me, sadly.
Well, it's kind of hard to care about villains. They didn't do a good job of making you feel empathetic.
Well, yeah, and then they threw them all together. You didn't really get their backstory, unless you're a comic book reader, right? So it's just like, oh, look, it's Will Smith. I mean,
at least in the new one, they do a decent job of making you feel a little bit of empathy towards these characters. Like Polka Dot Man is the best part of the new Suicide Squad. And what's his name? Dasmalchian? What's his first name? So it's not Darren.
Are they connected? Both of the Suicide Squads, or are they just pretending the other one didn't exist? What's the continuity right now? Even like for me, I'm like, just focus on the Batman. That was pretty decent. Had like one of the worst car chase scenes, and I was like, yeah. But besides that, it was a really good movie. I warmed up to it. Like at first, I left the theater and I was like, I don't know, but I thought about it a little bit, and now it sat with me so long that I'm like, damn it, where's my sequel? So
it is kind of a sequel, but it's also like kind of not. But the dude that plays Polka Dot Man. His name is David Dasmalchian. Also, let's talk to a fucking massive year for him last year, and I couldn't be more happy for the guy. He was in Dune, man.
Was he?
Yeah. He didn't have a big part in Dune,
But he was
at least
there.
like on screen, but I watched an interview with him, and this dude is just a genuine nerd.
Nice. I love
But
it
like
when it's like that.
Yeah, but not the kind of nerd that like makes you mad.
Good.
He's like the kind of dude like you can just tell he loves what he loves with no shame.
And he's yeah, that's always nice to see.
And I'm actually excited because he's in the process of making a movie. It's called The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Demeter,
And-
like the Greek goddess.
So
Demeter's a woman, a female.
in the Dracula story,
Oh, okay. We're
the
talking about
the
Dracula.
Demeter is the ship that takes Dracula from Transylvania to London.
Oh, okay. We're not talking about Greek stuff. Sorry, I'm marrying into a Greek family. I gotta know these things.
So yeah, this is obviously the name, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's about
He's going.
it's literally that trip.
Yeah.
It's all on a ship. And I'm super excited to watch it. I'm stoked about it.
I have a couple thoughts, but one that's more in line with what we're talking about. I'm waiting to see who they're casting for Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat movie. Some people are like, cast The Miz. The Miz would make a great dad, Johnny Cage. But everybody's so young in that movie right now that I don't think The Miz could do it. We need somebody younger.
Unless they were gonna go, well, okay, so here's the deal. In the new Mortal Kombat, they didn't introduce. So they've introduced Jax and Sonya
Yeah, Kano.
and Kano.
Who's
but
dead
even
now.
so,
Spoilers, sorry.
even so, you could probably get away with the Miz. I just don't think it would be entertaining to watch the Miz as Johnny Cage.
No, because he already is that in wrestling, like in real.
Yeah, no, I think it would be.
Cody
You know who I
Rhodes.
think would be a good Johnny Cage for
Who?
real?
Who?
Fucking oh, I am having such trouble with names today, and this never happens to me. Joel McHale. He's a little older at this point, but
Mhm.
he's cocky.
Fair enough.
Here you go.
I was thinking of Cody Rhodes, but he decided to rip his fucking pectoral muscle off of his tit, so it was all bruised. I can't believe he worked the match. Oh, let me pull
He's-
it up for you.
He's
for you
got the
guys.
face, but he's like not martial arts inclined.
Yeah, that
Hold
too.
on. Here you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could see that. Easy. Oh my god, yeah. Easy peasy. Dude, no problem.
If he learns some martial arts, it might be worth it. But if you want to go with a martial artist, like just fucking, Scott Adkins is a safe choice.
I'm really excited. I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit when we talked about Mortal Kombat, but Johnny Cage is my dude. I fucking love
Yeah.
everything ever since what was it, 9? Was that where they last rebooted? And I liked them in the old school games too. But 9 was where they rebooted and gave everybody like a backstory. And I love how he was such a gag character where like he's an asshole and he's Hollywood. And then in 10, the fucking opening scene of Mortal Kombat 10 or X is him kicking the shit out of fucking Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the same time. And I'm like, what is this? What am I watching? And then in
Yeah.
11, he's just a dad. He's just a really happy dad. Like, I love it. I fucking love Johnny Cage so much.
Yeah, I'm so not a fan. I'm sorry.
No, I don't blame you. A lot of people aren't. My dad, he had gone away on a trip. And I guess he played a lot of Mortal Kombat. I think it was an Alaska trip, if I'm not mistaken. So, not a lot to do there. Him and his buddy played a lot of like Mortal Kombat 11 when it had first come out. And then he called me. He's like, "Do you have it?" And I'm like, "I do." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass with Jax when I get home." I kicked the shit out of him with Johnny Cage. It wasn't even close, dude. He's like,
That's
"Your
funny.
controller must be buggy or something." And I'm like, "No, nah. The amount of nah. I don't know what kind of old man games you guys were playing."
Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, did you ever see like the fan series that existed on YouTube for a while?
no, never.
I think it was either called Legends or Legacy.
Huh.
Hold on a second. I'll find it for you. It's so good. Okay. Web series. probably the best way to look that up. Legacy, Mortal Kombat Legacy. 19 episodes? Damn. Okay. But yeah, it was actually on is it Machinima or Machinima?
Yeah, it's Machinima. Yeah.
So it was on Machinima. And it's really good, dude. Especially like the Cyrax episode is crazy.
Cyrax. People forget how deep Cyrax is as a character. They really bitched him out in these newer games. Man, Cyrax, such a good, even if you read like because Mortal Kombat has like a comic book run as well.
Mhm.
And such a good character. Anyway, moving on from the combat, I was going to talk about another thing that should already be a cinematic universe, and I don't know if this is like public domain or not, but all of Greek mythology could be a great fucking cinematic universe. Just telling the different stories of the different, it'd be confusing as fuck, but it'd be great.
So you'd have to be careful about the stories. Because like if you were gonna get in, if you're like, especially if you're gonna get into like Hercules territory,
Yeah,
there are several Hercules movies. You couldn't have any similar plot points or character design.
that's true. And it's kind of hard to do that when, you say Hercules and everybody's like the Disney one or the one with, what's his face?
Well, there's the one with The Rock.
With The Rock. Yeah, that's who it was. But no,
There's also
I'm talking about
there was a TV show with Kevin Sorbo called Hercules.
I don't even like the Hercules, the original, because I used to have a big book, and I would keep taking it out of the library in elementary school and just reading all of the stories I could. I didn't even like the Hercules tales that much. Like, it's just no, dude. Like, there's so much better stuff out there.
Dude, my boy Percy Jackson is about to get a reboot. I'm so excited. Yeah,
I never read the books, but I did watch the movie.
I feel like they picked the perfect kid to play Percy. For real.
You look really satisfied.
I feel like a proud dad. For real. Like Walter Scobell is his name. He was in the Adam Project. Dude, he's gonna be good. He's gonna kill it.
Nice.
And here's the only thing. I think the internet is screaming this from the rooftops as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just want Logan Lerman to show up at some point. Like, doesn't really matter where. Because everyone still loves Logan Lerman too. They were like, right guy, wrong time. So
yeah,
they want to see Logan Lerman show up, which would be cool. And then also like Stanley Tucci was in that movie. So was Pierce Brosnan. Like a lot of good actors in that movie, and it just still wound up being shitty.
I'm not going to spoil anything. Have you seen Lightyear yet?
No, and I won't.
Why? Don't tell me because Tim Allen, I will throw you.
No, I don't care about that.
Okay. Why won't you watch it?
I just don't have any interest in it.
Why not?
That's the only...
What?
Because I don't care.
Dude, it's so good.
I don't care
either.
I grew up with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, which is already way cooler than whatever they're going to try to put in front of me for 2 hours.
You got to watch it. You have to watch it.
I don't want to.
Do it for me. My dying wish.
I won't.
Stephanie and I went in there, and all I was like, I just want movie theater nachos. I don't even fucking care what we see. Nothing good is in right now. Fuck it, let's watch Lightyear. It was literally, I was like that. I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. We started watching it, and I immediately gave a fuck the whole time. It was great. Anyway, I don't blame you if you don't, but it changed my life. Not that much, but it was pretty good. Because it was either that or like, what else is even playing right now? I couldn't even tell you. Some random shit. Because the summer blockbusters are kind of either not out yet or already died down.
Well, Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in like a week and a half.
I will go. I should probably go watch Doctor Strange first. But...
Doctor Strange is on Disney Plus as of yesterday.
Oh, okay. I have Disney Plus, so I'll have to watch it real quick, and then I'll go watch Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I'll be watching Thor: Love and Thunder, and then on Bailey's birthday is when Nope comes out, and I'll be watching Nope for sure.
Yeah, we have to have a big talk about Nope.
Yeah, no, considering we're both like horror movie nerds, we have to talk about Nope.
I can't wait. So there is some good stuff coming up. Hopefully I'll have more free time to go see it. I can't tell you how excited I am to be a student again. Not just like theater. Theater, I love it to death. I love the stage. I've always been before. But to be a student again, like I haven't done that in a few years now. And I'm just really excited to do it. It's gonna be hard work, but I'm excited.
I get it, man. There was a point in my life where I was like really dedicated to going back to school.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the first time. I wanted to go back and actually finish, but I've
Mhm.
changed my mind so many times. I'm glad I didn't seriously pursue it,
Fair enough. Yeah,
because
no,
otherwise
had that.
I
Dude,
would
I
have
was
wound up
stuck
with
in
a
the
degree
school
that I don't want to
system
use.
for like 4 years, and then I got one whole degree out of, which is normal. You get one whole degree out of 4 years. But the way I bounced around was like crazy. Because California
Mhm.
community colleges are just ass compared to what I've seen out here. And so, like, I left the community college to go do a private college, and then I got my graphic design stuff. And now I'm going back for theater, and I'm like, am I going to make money at it? No. Am I going to be on the stage? Yes. Well, we don't know that. I shouldn't be like, oh, you won't make money, but like, I'm doing it more for me, for fun. I did my one. This one's for fun, and then I could be like, I got 2 degrees. I don't need this. My man got 2 jobs.
That is pretty cool.
You ever watch Everybody Hates Chris?
No, I haven't. I know about it, but I haven't watched it.
Why? It's like top tier Terry Crews territory, bro.
I've just never been the biggest fan of Chris Rock.
That's fair. His
never
voice
really
is,
found him funny.
when they casted him in Jigsaw, my heart broke.
Like I,
It broke my heart. Not Jigsaw,
So-
Spiral. Sorry, from the Book of Saw. Broke my heart.
growing up, I had, and I've mentioned this before, I had an extensive VHS collection,
Hmm.
and there for a minute, I only had like maybe 5 or 6 to choose from.
Hmm.
And we didn't have cable, so it's like if I wanted to watch something, I literally had to either borrow it from a friend, and I didn't have friends at the time, or watch one of the 6 movies I already had. So one of those movies was a comedy movie starring Chris Rock, and it was called Head of State.
Huh.
And Head of State was about him becoming the first black president. The other movie that I had,
Spoilers, it was Obama.
I'm actually going to have to look up the title of this movie because I don't remember what it is.
Mhm.
But it was another Chris Rock movie. And in this version, or in this movie, Chris Rock died and then had to he came back to life in someone else's body. I
Hmm.
think it's called Down to Earth. Yep, Down to Earth. And he even wrote it. Okay. Yep.
Even better.
Yeah,
VHSs,
this is,
I had Brother Bear. I think it was Brother Bear. Could have been Brother Bear too, but I think it was just the normal Brother Bear. Toy Story 2. And I had Blue's Clues on VHS. It was a yellow VHS tape. I'll never forget it.
That's cool.
Watched the shit out of that. Just because it was a bright color, and clearly they knew how to market to kids because it was a bright color, and I played the shit out of it. And I knew where all the clues were. I knew where Blue ended up and Steve at the end of the shit. Like, I just kept watching it. That and Brother
Mhm.
Bear. Because Brother Bear had coming soon to VHS or DVD or whatever the fuck. The old advertisements in it. And I would watch those. Oh, man. I woke up my mom one time. She was so pissed because I didn't realize the volume on the TV was super high. And it was like, coming soon. And my mom was like, what the fuck?
Been there, man.
Yeah. We used to play with like the film roll inside of the VHS tapes and like pull them all out because we were little demons. I always fixed mine by my finger was small enough, so I just twisted the thing to get the tape back in. For you youngins who don't know what we're talking about. But my brother would just rip them out and just fuck off. And I'd be like,
Dude, that's so
Heathens.
problematic.
Yes, at the ages of like 4 and 2, such problems.
Dude, I've never ripped the tape out of a VHS.
We never ripped it. I just pulled it just to see.
I've never even done that.
Well, look, good for you, man. I don't know what to say. DVDs were on the rise. They were on the up when I was that young. We just happened to have a bunch of VHSs. Oh, God. I accidentally saw, we're going to call it adult content on a VHS once. And I think it belonged to my biological father, but I cannot confirm nor deny that. There was women in bikinis and nudity and car washing happening. And my mom came in, I think with my aunt. And she went, "What are you watching? Take that out." I'm like, "I don't know. I just put a VHS in." I was like 3 or 4 or something, man. Like,
That's ridiculous.
I have so many VHS stores. We never played Jenga when we got Jenga blocks. We'd like build little castles out of them. But eventually we got down to only having like 1 or 2 Jenga blocks lying around left. So we just used the VHS tapes as like make little towers out of them. I am like crushing you right now with all of our destructive VHS stories.
Yeah, not great.
Man, we were not respectful to the medium. I remember like one of the first DVDs I learned how to put into the thing was Freddy vs. Jason.
What a ride.
Dude, getting into all this stuff I shouldn't be getting into when I'm young.
Yeah, I my first 2 DVDs. So my sister Dana got me my first DVD player back in like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
My first 2 DVDs were the 90s Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick
Mm-hmm.
and Eric Bana's Hulk. Or excuse me, it'd be Ong Lee's Hulk, but Eric Bana played
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Banner. Yeah, my first 2 DVDs, 2 massive green characters. And I spent most of my time watching that Godzilla movie and Hulk to the point where when I found out that Hank Azaria was a voice actor, someone was like, "Hey man, like he does all the voices in The Simpsons." And I was like, "Who?" And I look him up and I'm like, "Oh yeah, the fucking worm guy or the camera guy from Godzilla."
Uh-huh.
God damn it.
Speaking of
Which
Hulk,
is like a super bash to Hank Azaria because he's so fucking talented. He's got a TV show. It's called Brockmire, and I think it's on IFC. But he plays a baseball play-by-play announcer who's like, he was disgraced, and he's trying to make his way back to Major League Baseball announcing.
Oh no.
It's really good.
That sounds like it'd be a really funny premise, at the very least. Funny
It's
and
really good.
passionate at the same time. The birthday after I got the PS2, so I guess my 8th birthday, I received a couple of PlayStation 2 games. One of them was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and which I still have a copy of now. The second one was the Incredible Hulk, I think it was called. And the Hulk parts were great. You can grab tanks by their blaster and fucking yeet them across the room, you know. There were Bruce Banner parts. And it was like a really shitty version of Metal Gear Solid. I'm like, you can't fight a little bit, Bruce? Like,
He can't.
No, he can't. He's awful. And I'm like, these guards are one-hit KOing me. I'm like, transform into the Hulk or something. But no, there are parts that just make you be Bruce. And then you get into a certain area of the lab, and then he goes, "Oh, me angry," and fucking I'm like, "God damn it, Bruce! You would have done that 5 minutes ago. I wouldn't have to do this stealth stuff, man." Like,
Yeah, dude. Bruce Banner, traditionally not a fighter.
That's true. I was just hoping for
Yeah.
the game they'd give me a little bit of. There was takedowns. I think you could go behind guards and like, shh. But I think that was more of a job for Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Play a Spider-Man Noir and fucking. That was the whole gimmick of his side of the story was wear black hat, make quip, sneak up, and kill people. He would like German suplex people and like break their necks though for some of those takedowns, and I'm like, sir. But I love playing as my man, 2099, because his suit was just decked out totally different than any other Spider-Man. My man's had like grenades and like could like slow down. It was great. 2099 is great. Anyway, not to circle back.
I don't know what our timestamp is right now, but I have to pee so bad. And if you'd like, I can step away and pee and we can edit this out. Or if we want to call it, I'm fine with that too.
Dude, we always listen to your bladder. It's always the end.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So, first of all, I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Milktown podcast. Secondly, I would like to say that the link in the description is our link tree. We
Yeah.
recently made a Twitter for the podcast. Please go and follow the Twitter. Also, if you're not already on YouTube, please like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Click subscribe and make sure you just so gently touch that bell button.
No, smack that bell. Don't listen to
Smack
me.
the bell
Smack it.
because you got to know when we upload. I mean, it's at this point, it's like clockwork. It's every Monday. But
Facts.
wouldn't it be nice to have a notification like, oh yeah, my milkmen, they're on.
That's right. We are milk, manly milk.
Also, to quote my comedic boyfriend's channel, there's merch in the store. We
Are you
got
telling
some
me
Milktown
I'm not
merch.
your comedic boyfriend? I'm pretty upset about that.
I think we both understand that Shane Top is my comedic boyfriend.
That's facts. Okay. Well, I did show you the MC Grammar video, so.
That's true, you did. But
Yeah.
that's barely Shane. That's more the rest of the So Random cast.
Well, yeah. I just thought it was funny to hear him talk in such a
yeah.
such a manner.
Hey, yeah, just voice change. But yeah, the merch that's in the store, we've got several hoodies. Just dropped a new one today, Milktown Far Away hoodie. It feels better on your skin than sand. Also, during checkout, if you use the code VSWORD, that's VSWORD, you'll get
Is that the
10% off your
code?
order. Yeah,
That's awesome. I'm about to go get me some 10% real quick.
yeah. So you'll get 10% off of your order. That code is only valid through the weekend of the 4th of July. So
Nice. I'm surprised it's
Make
not
sure to-
like 2% off because milk, Anyway, whatever.
not that clever, Nate. Not that clever.
All right.
I make a hoodie based on blue milk and I can't think of a 2% joke. Oh,
It was right there.
this is why your dad never loved you.
At least I never left you. I'm like, I got some news for you, bud.
Oh no, Mike. Yeah, he gone. But yeah, if just and also, you know what, guys, if you like us, like us, tell your friends.
do
tell
you
your
like
friends about
do
us.
you like us? Yes or yes?
The answer better be yes, because we're taking you to homecoming.
I'm home. I'm coming. Let's do
Whoa.
this.
But no, for real, like seriously, I appreciate the people that we have that listen and interact with us. I love the interactions. It's really fun to hear what you guys are thinking as well. We also have a Discord server. We got some people in there the other day for the giveaway. And if you guys weren't there, we did a giveaway for Nate's birthday.
Yo, it was great.
And I think we're probably going to do more of those because it was pretty fun. Maybe not a
was
live
fun.
stream, but a giveaway.
Yeah. We could just
Really,
do like a Twitch Milktown channel soon.
that seems like a lot of extra work.
Go piss. What are you doing here? Gosh.
I'm shamelessly plugging our stuff. But yeah, every purchase goes back to the podcast. It's going to make everything better. We've got some cool stuff that should be rolling out within the next couple of weeks. Fingers
that I'm not
crossed.
allowed to see.
We can talk about that here in a moment. But we've been your milkmen. We are your milkmen, and we will continue to be your milkmen. Obviously, I am Sonny Says Stuff.
I'm Nostalgia Nate.
And we would both like you to have just the best fucking week.
Dude, the intensity of your hand squeeze there really sealed it in for everyone. Have a great fucking week. Hey, Sonny, guess what?
Fuck!
Fuck!